Hey, YouTube, or if you're watching this on Facebook. Beautiful day out. It's end of March almost here, and it's trying to snow out there, damn it. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about the micro and the macro. And that is the state of the world, a macrocosm of the microcosm, and that each of us have a part in this story, in that our relationships with each other, are they being expressed in the macrocosm, and that our relationship with people that are making decisions for us, that's sort of a bigger, wider picture of what's going on in the microcosm, us and our everyday friendships and relationships and families, etc. So this is a two-parter today. So I was thinking about this, first of all, in friendships. So a couple of quick stories here just to give you an idea of what I'm talking about, because these are things that I've heard people say personally. So let's say a group of people take a class from somebody. It's an instructional class. I'm not going to say what it is, so that in case any of my friends are watching this, they don't think it's about them. And it isn't about them. It's about the bigger picture of this. So this person teaching this class was a fucking asshole. And sometimes they can be super charming, like all narcissists are. And they did these people wrong, but yet in social media, they still say, hey, good for you, how are you doing? And boy, blibbity blab, whatever. So they didn't even unfriend this person in social media, much less real life. So another story, a person had a friend that was giving away a dog, and they had some friends with little kids that wanted this dog. So she set these two people up, and the family went and bought puppy toys, and the kids were all excited. Yay, we're getting a dog. And if you've got kids, that's a very big deal. And then an hour before the dog is supposed to be delivered, they decide to give the dog to a family member. The children are crushed, absolutely crushed, as you know, because they knew the breed of the dog. They were thinking of names. They had the toys and the food and the excitement and everything. So the person that set it up said, no, fuck this, man. You sullied my name. You threw dirt on my name. I feel horrible. I got this family all excited. I set y'all up. You said it was a done deal, and then you broke their heart. That was enough for her to unfriend this dog giver person. So another example is a couple of friends. They get in a fight, an argument. Well, it's a one-sided argument. One person can't control their rage. They don't have good communication skills. They did the other person wrong, but their reaction to the person confronting them and asking for an apology, or for an understanding at least of where the energy came from, was aggression, screaming and yelling, to where the one person just had to walk away and just was like, okay, I'm done, block you, go on with your life, peace be with you, whatever. So they aren't friends anymore. But like 6 months later, the person that had done, was a jerk, basically. They go from being the jerk in the story into being the hero of the story, because they just own it. They say, I'm sorry, I fucked up, my bad. And of course, they're forgiven. Any good person's going to forgive someone like that. And done deal. It's over, right? So my point here is the way that we're treating each other. We used to live in small communities. So in a small community, maybe you hate Farmer Bob, but Farmer Bob is the only one that has eggs, or the only one that has something that the whole community needs. So maybe you put up with Farmer Bob's bullshit or whatever. So um, Farmer Bob gets away with being a bit of a dick, but he's not like a murderer or anything like that. He's just a dick. Well, nowadays, our Farmer Bob that's it's not our Farmer Bob, it's our neighbors. You can look on any map that shows predators and pedophiles, and they're everywhere. So my point is that if we do not have the balls in some cases to stand up to somebody that's done us wrong, fuck around and find out, and hold them accountable, or someone's done something horrific and say they're a pedophile, and people still, because they give good deals or even have a good product, that people keep going and supporting their business or whatever, just because it's cheap or whatever, and they just don't fucking care, or the communities don't care that there's pedophiles all over, which is everywhere now. Are we falling? Well, we are. We're falling apart as a society because, number one, we don't live in little tribes. If we lived in tribes, the elders would get together and be like, oh, that person's a psychopath. When we all go hunting and they're home with the children and our wives, they're going to eat all the food, rape all the women, abuse all the kids, whatever. They would just be like, hey, come on, let's go for a water run. And that person would just mysteriously disappear and be gone, right? They would just handle it. And the elders were people that the rest of the tribe respected them as a person. They knew the ways of the life of the tribe. They weren't separate like a politician is today, where they don't live amongst the regular people. They don't know how hard it is to keep a household going. They don't know the cost of eggs at the store or whatever. It doesn't affect them, nor do their decisions, because they don't live amongst the people. Where when we lived tribally, everybody knew everybody. The tribal leaders were elders. They had the wisdom, they knew the stories to teach the people of how to live good through storytelling, and had the skills and knew what it was like to be just one of the regular tribal members, because they were at one point. So I would like to suggest that people have given up, that they think that the average person can't do anything about the way the world is right now. And I would like to propose that that's incorrect. If people, for example, stopped going to McDonald's and everybody just started eating healthy and started feeding each other and worked very hard to make sure that there was healthy food for their children, we would not only see a change in consciousness, because any of y'all out there who used to eat junk food and crap food that are now eating clean can attest to this. That was me. You get a different consciousness. You get a different ability to see through things and make better judgments about things, and to see things for what they are. So macro, micro. If you don't have the balls to stand up in your everyday life, I don't mean beat the shit out of someone because they did you wrong, but not to be afraid, to know that your neighbor is, say, a pedophile, and the community just, well, what can we do about it? Well, as a community, you could get together and make sure that that person was no longer in your community, either by ostracizing them, not renting to them, whatever, and make sure. Now, I'm not talking a witch hunt here. I'm talking the macro demons, not people that maybe they were a robber when they were young and now they've cleaned up their ways, or they were, you know, the circumstances in their lives have changed. I have mentioned this before about a tribe of people that when one of their tribal people does something wrong, the tribe gets around them in a circle and on shifts. They just keep telling the person all the good things about them. Maybe they're a murderer, but they just keep telling the person day after day, 24 hours a day, all the things about them that are good, until the person loses their damn mind and it changes their consciousness, or it drives them freaking crazy, and they no longer have that psyche or whatever. I'm not saying necessarily that would work with modern people, but hey, it's worth a freaking try, right? So our if we can't in our own small communities have the skills to communicate and solve community problems, basics, clean food, clean water, educating the children in ways that that community sees as fit by the morals and beliefs of those people. It would clean eating and clean living and clear communication skills that then are passed on to the next generation. It's only going to evolve into more conscious beings. And if we can't do that with each other, and we've become apathetic, and we've lost the abilities to communicate with each other, then and make people have consequences for their shitty behavior. If it's somebody that's a horrific person, and just because they're charming, they have money, and people want to be seen with them or whatever, an elder wouldn't fall for that shit back in the day. Again, that person would just go missing on a hunt or go missing on a water run, and they wouldn't even necessarily need to tell the rest of the tribal members, because the ones that were wise running things would know that that person was a detriment to the tribe as a whole, and then if the whole tribe was making a choice about it, they might not see, because they weren't as wise and evolved, see the danger that that person had for the tribe as a whole, that it was the destruction of the tribe. So yeah, what do y'all think? Comment down below. New subscribers, thank you very much. I've got a couple other things rolling around in my head that I want to talk about, but then I get on here talking and I forget what the other thing was. So I'll have to come back with you. Maybe I'll do like I said, a part 2 on this. But I believe that if somebody, talking about the macro and the micro and the rulers that are elites, the pedos, the adrenochrome addicts, the people that to me are megalomaniacs. If you're somebody who thinks that you're so much better than everybody else, that you get to live this elite lifestyle with no worries, you've got more money than you could ever spend in a lifetime, and yet the world is falling apart, that's a mentally unstable person. And all it takes is us just saying, no, we're not listening. We're not giving, say, tax money to them any longer to just destroy our communities, our world, our everything. And is the reason that we can't do that because we can't even stand up to somebody doing wrong in our own neighborhood, that, you know, someone does you wrong and still you're all friends with them and being, hey, cheerio on social media or whatever. I think that's something that's happening. I really do. And yeah. And the other thing is I was told by someone, if you're watching this, nothing against you or anything, I'm a small channel, and they had given me some interesting suggestions about the channel, things to do or whatever. But y'all, I'm just a almost 57-year-old woman. I guess I'm a granny now. Sexy granny was what I was told, which I guess I should take as a compliment. It's weird getting old and getting used to these different words that are used for you or whatever, but that's cool. I don't care. I'm not a grandma, but I'd like to be a grandma, but I digress. Um, I was told that y'all get sick of me just talking at you, but I like channels with just normal, regular people just sitting down, having a chat and saying what's on their mind. And the channels that I watch, a lot of their videos, 1, 2, 3, 4 hours long that I listen to in the background as I do my homework and do chores and stuff around the house. Just regular people, not getting all duded up for the camera, normal backgrounds behind them that's just someplace in their home or their space or whatever. I kind of like that. But if there's some topic you'd like me to address or some suggestions you'd like to make for the channel, put it down in the comments. I'm open-minded. Maybe I'll give it a try. Damn it, I had something else I wanted to talk to y'all about, and I can't think of it right now. So maybe I'll make a video here in a while when it pops back into my brain. So thank you for watching. This is Lise, not your fucking guru, because you don't need one. What I believe today might not be what I believe tomorrow. Let's be the change. Let's shine on. Don't give in. Don't become apathetic. Don't become, throw your hands up in the air. Stay in your little house or your cave of whatever kind you're in, and not participate in this grand design, because what we think, what we believe, and how we live ripples out into a wave, and it does decide the way that this simulation operates. So be the change. Shine on. One love.